Hi everyone, Seth Gozo here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be hollowing sculpture, figurative sculpture from our class. And you'll be seeing me and a few of the students cutting in the back of the figure, hollowing the back and the head. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to click subscribe, comment, and share. So we are going to be compressing the base of the sculpture. You have to flip it on the side and make sure you have a soft foam or towel that you can lay your sculpture on and start compressing the base. And the next step after compressing the bottom is cutting the back of the sculpture using a tight hold on your wire tool. You have to mark the back. Make sure you're at least 1 inch or ½ inch depending how thick the piece, and you cut down straight, and a V shape or a notch is created so it will not slide off. You just have to make sure you put your piece that you cut off on the side so it will not by accident be recycled or got picked up by someone, or you might put it back in a bag by mistake. That happened. So that's just a simple tip, that the piece that you remove, make sure you know where you put it. So here I'm cutting it, and then I'm removing it, and I'm settling it and putting it on the table where it's safe and will not be picked up by someone by accident. So now I have to mark my outline. 1 inch to ½ inch around is my guide. Then that I will be digging up the sculpture, hollowing it out and making sure I'm not too deep, checking from the other side and making sure I'm not going through and through. And if by accident you cut it by mistake, just put back the same clay that you removed, and it will settle eventually, and it's good enough. So another tip that I want to share with students is when you're working on your piece, you don't have to really finish the texture right away. So what's happening here is she's having a hard time cutting the piece because the outside of the piece is already compressed. Like she's trying to finish it early or sculpt it early, or detail is done early on this stage. It's hard to cut whenever the piece is compressed outside already at an early stage. So that's just one tip that helps to cut the piece a little easier. So same thing happened with the second student. Her sculpture is already compressed outside, and it's still soft inside, but the outside is compressed well. So she's having a hard time cutting it with the wire tool. So I recommend not finishing the outside of your piece right away, so it will be an easy cut. The finishing can be done after the piece is already hollowed. So she eventually got it cut and hollow out, and the next student will be the best example of the stage that you want on your sculpture piece. It will be an easy cut. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to hurt your fingers. Sometimes it can be intimidating with especially if it's your first time cutting a piece and your piece is hard to cut. Sometimes student gets scared. But this sample right here, her sculpture is just right, easy to cut. She will be working on the detail after we hollow it out, so you can see how easy the cut right here. It's just one slide up and down, and easy to put back together. So the main goal is when you cut your piece to hollow, make sure it can stand by itself. If the inside of your piece is too wet, so be gentle, let it sit a while, let it air dry, and then put the piece back together, slip and scoring. And again, I don't recommend watered down slip. I recommend the thickened peanut butter type thick of slips. So it's time to cut the head. I'm measuring the thickness. It's 3 inches. So the goal is make sure it's cut around ½ inch or less, and create a tunnel from the head to the shoulder. So I will poke it with a I think I use the back of paintbrush, and there you go. Now it's time to put the pieces back together after the piece is ½ inch or less all over, making sure it's compressed from the inside to outside, and it's strong enough to stand by itself. So now I am scratching and putting the slip both sides of the pieces and compressing, and the noodle is the most important part that you have to apply on the cut area. So the noodle needs to also be scratched and slip and slowly applied on the connection or the seam. There you go. I'm putting back the cut out pieces together, the head and the back. Slip and score, and the remaining of the video will be the early stage of how I sculpted the figure. The bottom of the base needs to be hollow. So after compressing and making sure the base is smooth, I cut a hole and let it air dry for a few minutes, and compress again, and let it sit for a while to dry. And also the knee area is more than ½ inch, or altogether it's like 4 inch together. So I poke a hole using the back of the paintbrush, which I later cover the knee area. So I poke a hole, you'll see the hole that I have right there. That's just to make sure nothing is more than, or nothing is an inch thick for kiln firing. There you go. Thanks again for watching. Here's the early stage of sculpting the detail of the face and the body. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to click subscribe, comment, share, and click that bell. Bye for now.